Stardew Valley is a big game. These are the things that I absolutely cannot live without. Disagree with me if you want. Stardew Valley might not have the biggest map, but there are many places we need to get to that are not really that close to each other. On top of that, the default movement speed in Stardew Valley is actually unbearable. This is why I cannot live without my horse. The stable is actually a really cheap building as it only costs 10 hardwood, 5 silver bars and 10,000 gold. Meaning you can get a stable really early into a new playthrough. To make this even better, you can drink some coffee for a speed boost, and you can also eat some spicy eel for another speed boost. You can stack buffs from foods and beverages, and when you combine a horse with some coffee and some spicy eel, you will be running around the world of Stardew Valley at lightning speed. Unfortunately, you cannot bring your horse with you everywhere you go, so if you are in the end game, it might be a good idea to get yourself a horse whistle. This will definitely save you a ton of time, as it will allow you to bring your horse to the desert and even on Ginger Island. Alright, now for a curveball. I am pretty sure no one was expecting this but Linus. Linus is by far my favorite villager in the game, and I have a few reasons for that. First, his location. Linus is always standing right on my path to the regular mines, and I always give him whatever random forageables I have in my inventory because he likes basically everything in the game. Additionally, Linus will teach me how to make sashimi as well as wild bait. These things are crucial to my survival in Stardew Valley. The Statue of Uncertainty is something that I absolutely cannot live without. Once I learned that this thing exists, I started to use it all the time, like way more than is probably necessary. The Statue of Uncertainty is located in the sewer, and it looks like a statue of a dog. This statue will let you reset your profession for only 10,000 gold. It is costly in the early game, but 10,000 gold is not that bad once you start to make good money around the mid-game. Being able to pick the agriculturist profession to make your star fruit go faster and then change back to the artisan profession to sell your wine for 40% more is absolutely game changing. When you start a new playthrough, you are going to have to water your own crops. You will start off by watering a single crop at a time. You will start to water more at the same time until you can water a very impressive 25 crops at the same time. But that does not do it for me. This is where the iridium sprinkler comes in. I don't know what I would do without these bad boys. A lot of people race to complete the community center in a new playthrough, but I race to unlock the iridium sprinkler. These things do more than simply water your crops for you. They will unlock your true potential. Time is our biggest enemy in this game, but if you wake up and all of your crops are watered, well, you will have more time to do pretty much anything else. Name it, you can do it now that you have iridium sprinklers. Without sprinklers, this game would be very, very different. The combat in Stardew Valley is not that difficult. The enemies have simple patterns and they are actually quite slow if you have a couple speed buffs. I would say that the enemies are mostly just minor inconveniences, but once you get yourself a hammer of some kind, you will find that the enemies are nothing, barely an inconvenience. That is especially true once you have the Infinity Gavel. This hammer is absolutely overpowered, especially if you use the hidden super move. The hammer is slow and isn't that great as a normal weapon, but if you use the hammer's special attack and spam the normal attack as fast as you can within the hammer's special attack animation, you will do considerable amounts of damage. It can and it will one-shot almost any enemy that dares get in your way. If you pair this hammer up with the napalm ring and the correct enchantments, you will be able to spam the special attack so rapidly, and the AoE damage will literally allow you to defeat anything at any point in time. Additionally, the napalm ring will allow you to kill zombies without bringing bombs, as every enemy you defeat will explode in spectacular fashion. At some point in your playthrough, you are going to want to make tons of gold. It is inevitable, but at some point everyone is going to need tons of gold. Maybe you want to buy a golden clock, some obelisks, or maybe even just want a big bank account. And one of the easiest ways to make gold in this game is with artisan professions. Whether you use jelly, honey, truffle oil, or wine, you are bound to succeed because artisan goods are just the king of money making. Selling crops without processing them will always result in you making less gold, and that is due to the very overpowered profession that you will obtain at level 10 farming. The artisan profession will increase the sell price of all of your artisan goods by a massive 40%. A regular quality starfruit crop will sell for 750 gold, but regular quality starfruit wine with the artisan profession will sell for 3,150 gold. So it is always worth it to process your crops for maximum gold. I know not everyone can use mods since they are only available on PC and mobile, but once you use the scythe harvesting mod, it is almost impossible to go back to harvesting crops by hand. The scythe harvesting mod will allow you to effortlessly harvest tons of crops and you will have fun while you do it. The only problem with this mod is that you cannot plant seeds immediately after harvesting, so these work best for crops that regrow. Once you get your first Crystalarium, your life will never be the same because this thing can duplicate rare and valuable minerals like jades, emeralds, and even diamonds. You could simply use the Crystalarium to just duplicate a bunch of diamonds and sell them for a very decent chunk of change. This will cost you nothing, so it is basically like printing money, but there is actually a better use for the Crystalarium, and that is by duplicating some of the less valuable minerals. You can trade rubies for spicy eel, and as you know, I gotta go fast. On Sundays, the desert trader will trade in jades for staircases, and this is by far the easiest and most reliable way to get staircases in the game. I do not need to tell you how good staircases are. If for some reason your animals are on strike and you are low on food, you could even trade in emeralds for cheese on Fridays. In Stardew Valley, you will eventually need tons of stone and fiber. This is where the Deconstructor comes in. Back in the day, before the 1.5 update, we would have to grind in the mines or buy stone from Robin for a hefty price. But now we can just deconstruct some staircases. Each staircase that we deconstruct will get you an impressive 99 stone. And remember, we can get staircases incredibly easy with the help of the Crystalarium. Fiber is a resource that you will always underestimate. You need tons of fiber if you plan to use deluxe retaining soil and garden pots. The only way I ever get fiber is by purchasing grass starters at Pierre and deconstructing them for 10 fiber each. Deconstructors only cost 20 key gems and they will fundamentally change the way you play the game. You know, I could still enjoy Stardew Valley without these things, but without these 12 forbidden Stardew Valley tips in this video, it might be impossible. Thanks for watching, but for now, I will see you in the next video.